We should be live right now. Give you guys a couple minutes to get in here before I get talking. Let me know if you guys can hear me. Sure. One second, just pulling it up on the stream just in case people are typing or talking. I can't see it this second, so give me 30 seconds. Okay, let me know if you guys can hear me and if everything sounds okay. Sorry, I'm just setting up my other computer right now just so I can see messages that come in. Sorry, just getting everything set up. 1 second. Okay. Good now. Give you guys a couple minutes to get in here. Okay. So, I don't know if we got anyone in here yet or not. But I figured I'd come on here just for a little bit. Don't know how long exactly. Mostly because we finally did it. We hit 1,000, and even at that, we're getting close to hitting 1,100. We're getting really close again. So, channel's growing pretty well. I'm really impressed with how things are going. Glad to finally see some growth with the channel. I wanted to come on here and come live sooner, but unfortunately I have been quite busy. I've been learning how to tune this car currently, and that's been kind of up and down and all over the place. And then on top of that, I have been working on my buddy's car. He's got an 89 Fox. His car's been completely apart for years. Had, I think essentially he hurt the rear end or something like that. Something happened. And ended up hurting the motor also, and did a bunch of stuff to that car. Had a lot of issues. Sat around, or he pulled it apart, then he ended up having a kid shortly after, and then it's been about 3 years with the car sitting with no motor in it. No transmission, no rear end, nothing. The car was rough. So he's finally started to work on the car again. And I've said I want to help him. Mostly because then I can go out and I have a guy to cruise with on, weekends and whenever we're free. And then we can go to the track together and whatnot. So I'm helping him get his car back together. So I haven't been able to really be as focused on YouTube as much as I personally want to be. Now, the good thing is I do have this entire week off. So I'm going to be going hopefully live almost every single day on here, on YouTube, and on TikTok, and working on other things. And we'll be getting some other videos out. I want to be putting out more long form videos. So we're trying to figure out ideas currently on making like a shorter video, but not a short, if you will. Something that we can attempt to try and put out 1 to 2 a day in the range of, a couple of minutes long. But yeah, that's the current idea. We want to do something like that. Because shorts are doing okay on the channel, but the longer videos just aren't. We're really struggling to get them to grow. And yeah, so we're working on that. We're going to try and put out a lot more content on that side, maybe pull back a little bit on the shorts. So it might be only 1 short a day versus I think we're doing 3 or 5 or whatever we're doing currently. We're also fighting with a weird issue with times that if we post a video and it's a minute off of a certain time, the video just doesn't go viral at all. The algorithm doesn't pick it up. And we've been fighting with that issue for a little while. So if you do see videos come up and then get deleted, that is why. It's an issue that we're currently fighting. We have been fighting for a while now. So that's why you might see videos come up. And sometimes they're really good videos too, and I hate having to take them down. It's just they don't catch any traction. And what I find is if we don't take them down, if we were to repost another video after we realize that one hasn't taken at all and won't, essentially we won't have any views for that entire day. It's an issue we're currently fighting. We're trying to figure it out. We don't know if it's tagging, consistency, what it is. We're trying to be very consistent with everything, but we are currently having issues with that. So I figured I'd just at least let you guys know, keep you up to date on what's going on with the channel. Yeah, we're doing our best here. Also, sorry for my very unsteady hands. I've been working all weekend and I kind of been welding, so I'm just kind of used to, my hands are kind of all shaky right now. I need to buy a gimbal and get a bunch of other stuff. But right now all I got is my phone and my computer. That's all I've got. And also my video editor too. But essentially I don't have much. I do have a GoPro. What am I saying? I do have a GoPro, but it's pretty old. So it ain't the greatest. But yeah, we're fighting with this channel. We're having a couple random issues, but we're getting it. We're getting there. We'll figure it out. We don't plan to stop at all. Content is going to be consistent. We're trying to put out more long form content. We're going to be live a lot more. We're going to try doing more how-to and or even vlog style videos, maybe more. We're going to try doing a lot more that will hopefully help with growth on the channel. Yeah, so we're trying to do that. We're trying to get more things going with the channel. On top of that, just the amount of work that I've been doing with my buddy's car. Essentially, I go over to his house, or his parents' house Friday night. We has it stored, and then we're there till either Saturday or Sunday. And we basically, we'll be there at his house pretty early, and then leave at like 10 o'clock at night, and it's freezing out. So yeah, we've been doing a lot of work there. I don't know if I have showed you guys this, but I might as well. We do have a new welder on the channel now, for the channel. So we picked up this little Yes welder here. You can get, I think they're like 300 and something bucks on Amazon. I'm gonna be honest, it's a decent little welder. It's a MIG stick and lift TIG. It's got a decent amount of features, all things considered. This was our old welder up here. I've still got it. I gotta fix it. The circuit board burnt out. So essentially all this thing you had control was here, were these switches for heat, and then wire speed. So that welder worked pretty good, but yeah, it's nothing compared to that. This welder's awesome. I only have one tiny complaint about it, and it's the torch hose or torch cable or whatever the hell you want to call it isn't long enough. That is my only complaint about this welder so far. Like, that is it. Beyond that, I can't complain. Even it's got a decent ground cable. Not the best, but it definitely does the job. It's a little bit tinny, but it's got nice copper in it. I can't complain about that. I've run, I think, 2 spools through that already, or a spool and a half. I believe it can also take a 10-pound spool. I've only been running on the 2 or 2.5. I can't remember what it is exactly. But yeah. Good little welder. I'm going to do a video on it. My welding has progressed a lot since I got that welder. What I will say is this welder here, this little Mastercraft, this thing is great for sheet metal. I honestly think this welder might be better at sheet metal than that welder. Not saying this welder isn't capable, because it definitely is. That welder I can turn, it's a little bit easier to use and dial in for sheet metal, because essentially for sheet metal, all you do is this. And then turn your wire speed to around here and you're good to go. The other one, you got a bit more settings to play with, and it's a little more finicky to dial in. Again, not that it's a bad thing. It works great. Great little welder. Yeah, essentially not too much has changed with the car since the last time I was live at the wideband in. And I have been tuning on it. Now, I'm learning to tune. I have no prior knowledge. I'm not even very good with computers. So I'm learning to tune currently and on this, mostly before I rebuild the motor. So if something were to happen, I didn't just blow up a brand new motor. But, and it's also got forged pistons in it, and it's a little more forgiving right now because the pistons that are going in are hyper eutectic. Not saying that they're a bad piston, not saying that they can't take abuse. They are a very nice piston, this Keith Black's. But yeah, these are a forged, factory forged piston. They take quite a fair amount of abuse, and yeah, I've got no complaints. So I'm just slowly tipping away on that. I might actually, I'll show you some of the logging stuff I've done. Second. Again, don't be afraid to comment, guys. You got any questions or anything you want to talk about, feel free to ask me. One second, I'm just trying to pull up a log right now. This one right here, we'll start at number 1. Okay, we'll start actually at the first log. Show you guys a little bit, hopefully you guys can see okay. So, I got it pretty dumbed down right now for this log. I'll actually pull out this one here. Pull that out, and I'll pull the spark table out. Make that a little easier. Okay, so the green line, that's your RPM. The blue line is your mass airflow voltage. And then the red is your air-fuel ratio off the wideband. So this is how the car was, excuse me. This is how the car was untuned. I haven't touched anything on it at all. So we can see, get into throttle, we get into trying there. Okay, so also the red line here, this is your TPS, your throttle position, showing that I'm full throttle. So you get into throttle really early, 100% throttle, which is 4.75 volts. 17, you can see the RPM right there. 1766. So as we start easing in, excuse me, I should have got a drink before I started. The air-fuel ratio absolutely tanks. So this is in lambda, not AFR, but roughly in AFR, that translates to, I think, 10.5, if I'm not mistaken. Somewhere around 10 something. Way too rich. Way too rich. Then if we look, we got a peak right here. Right here. If we look here, we're at 0.95. This is lean. So this is a lean spot. That's a rich spot. This is all rich, all of it. Even this spot right here, if we hover the cursor over top, we can see exactly where it is. So try and get the crosshairs lined up right about there. And 0.75. Way too much fuel. We also look about here. We peaked MAF voltage. So we peaked. We had, the voltage isn't supposed to go over 5 volts, and it went over 5 volts. And then immediately shut off. while still in power, which then just causes a flat curve, which is really bad. So you can see it's absolutely just, it's flooded with fuel. This is down here, I think. Try to get it lined up. We're 7.1, 7.2 AFR, or lambda, which is like 9.8, 9.8, 9.5. That's below 10.0 AFR. Way too much fuel. And then over here, we're over 15. This is over 15. And this is at 2,500 RPM. So I've been fighting a backfiring through the intake. It was a lean pop. This is the issue right here. Pull up another log. I'll just pull up one of these. Yeah, I'll just pull up this one, 3. Okay, here's one. This is after I started making changes. So same idea. I'll make the AFR yellow so it's easier to see. There we are. So lean spot's still there. Move to a different RPM curve. It's actually at 1,400. And you can see it's just jumping up and down. It's all over the place. It's 8.5. What's this? 8.8. 8.5. 8.2. 8.8. Oh, looks like we're getting a thunderstorm right now. The idea is we're trying to level this to 0.82 is my goal, which is about 12.0 AFR. Yeah, so we're trying to level the curve, make it smoother. This is the first rendition. It's a little bit better, but it's all over the place. This fluctuation's bad, very bad to have. Actually, you know what? Give me a second. I'm gonna grab a drink. Be back in 1 minute, guys. Okay, sorry about that. I just really needed a drink there. So, the AFR is all over the place. It's really not a clean log. You can see there's a bunch of, it's jumping all around in this area of the curve. MAF voltage, it's not clean. You can even see up here, that's affecting power. It's not a clean curve. Slight improvements, but not much. This is difficult with one hand. We'll go to this one, maybe. No. It's a harder one to read. Let's do this one. Okay, yeah, this one. This is a better log. So this is after I've been playing around with it for quite a while. Now I'll pull this one up. Now you can already see the curve is substantially better. It's way more smooth now. The air-fuel ratio is not far off, actually. See right there, 0.81. I'm aiming for 0.82. 0.81 is pretty much right there, and then 0.195, so that's virtually perfect. Now, it's got a bit of fluctuation in it, and you can see right here, it gets a little bit rich again. We got a little bit of a lean spot again. Nowhere near as bad. Nowhere near. And then down here, I was playing with a bunch of things from the prior log, and I made a bunch of changes down here, and I kept it kind of rich, and also kind of guessed on some voltage numbers to try and shift some things down so we didn't peak voltage out as soon. Some of it did help, some of it didn't. Again, I don't know fully what I'm doing. I've only watched some videos online on how to change and how to tune this thing, and I don't know much. I admit I don't know much. I'm just kind of winging it. So we can see we had a dip right here, and it got pretty rich again. It got better right about here. It got better. It still needs fuel pulled out of it, but this is better. And then immediately tanks. And you can see right here, we peak out max voltage again. Now, part of peaking it out, my guess, is because it's demanding too much fuel, which causes it to peak out. Excuse me. So, I'm not 100%, but from how I understand it, is you tune the car based off your voltage here. The max voltage you can have is 5, and you want to keep it under 5. That's at 5.1 volts. Oop, there it is, you can see it, 5.1. Now, what would be causing that is the computer is demanding more fuel than it's capable of. So there's more fuel coming in, it's too rich. So this whole area, this area here is just too rich. So I have to pull enrichment out, which then should lower this number down. So what I'm having to do is I'm finding the increments to try and bring it in, so it has a nice curve in, maintains wide open throttle at about 0.82, and then that's it, essentially. Then I can start playing with timing and other things. But that is my ideal lambda. Naturally aspirated is 0.82. I can do 0.83, but I'm aiming 0.82. This is one of my best logs that I've had so far. I made a couple other renditions, and what I did is I find, like here for example, I find where the peak is, where it's peaking. Come on. There. So I find where it's peaking, the voltage. So it's 3.1. And then I add a cell into here. And then add and subtract fuel and then kind of tweak it out. And tweak it and lower and move the graph around to try and flatten it. Is how I'm doing it. Again, this isn't perfectly correct. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just kind of winging it. So going to the tuner. And these are the current changes that I made last night. So this is on the new map. That's an older map, an older log I just showed you guys. But yeah, so I made a bunch more changes. It's not a pretty curve right now. I don't know why we're having this whoop-de-doo. It's supposed to kind of be linear from what I understand. And usually these create issues. But if I don't add these in, I have lean spots. So going up higher this way means that we're adding fuel, and then going down this way means we're subtracting. So as you can see based off the graph, ideally we want it to come up linear like that. But we have a lull right here. And I don't know what's causing it, because the air-fuel ratios right here are perfect. Here's where we get lean. Here's another lean spot. This is okay. So I don't know what's going on to not cause this to be a smooth concentric or close to a concentric line up. But I've had to add a substantial amount of fuel here, and I've had to add a substantial amount of fuel here. I have some beliefs that it is timing related. And I made quite a few timing adjustments. I added a degree here. I think I added 1 degree here. What did I do again? I'll look at one of my other things. But I know this was at 22.0. This one was at 22.5. I think this was 21.5. And then this was 18.5, and I think I bumped it a little bit right here. Yeah. Now, the reason why I bumped timing up here is because I believe what it used to say was it was 22 degrees at 3,500. Now, you can technically go all in at 3,500, full timing, 3,500 all the way through. So what I did was, I believe part of the lull right here is, I know for a fact, where's my cursor? Right here. I know for a fact right here at this peak is exactly where it hits 26 degrees of timing on my map log, on my logs. And I believe, I'm not 100% sure, but I believe this is where it hit 22.5. So it hit 22.5 here, went down, and then came up, which is what I believe this little flat spot right here is. So I believe this is timing related right here. So I've added timing from literally in this area here up. The idea I'm hoping to see is that from about here to about here, it's going to become more concentric across. That way I get to add fuel in here, and then this becomes a smooth transfer up to here. So this kind of curves more like that and then down, is my current thought. I'm not a tuner though, so I can't fully say. I'm just a novice. I barely know anything about this, and I'm just here doing my best. So yeah, that's a quick little look into the tuning. I was going to do a video on it, but I just don't have much experience to feel comfortable doing that. One second. There's that. Second, I'm just pulling you guys back up on YouTube so I can see if anyone has commented or said anything. Also, this is one of the guys that I've been watching here to help me learn a little bit. And then I've asked a couple other buddies. So, yeah, this guy knows a hell of a lot about the binary editor. But yeah, that's a little look just into the tuning that I've been doing with the Mustang. Again, I'm still learning this very much. I don't have a full understanding of what I'm doing. I just have a rough idea. I believe this one's another log I did. Yeah, this is another log. This is the most recent log. It got a little bit uglier on this one compared to the last log I showed you guys. But it's actually in a closer range. So the dip we see isn't as huge comparatively, but then we do have there it is. We do have this lean spot come back again. So I've worked on moving that lean spot and hopefully adding fuel to smooth this map out. Through here, this isn't actually that much of a fluctuation. It's, let's go in here. So low, it's 8.26, and then it peaks usually, what was some of the peaks at? There, 8.4. So there's a couple little peaks in it. It's kind of, it's not smooth yet, but I'm working on getting it smoother. We've got, this came back, which sucks, but I'm playing around with this. I think this new log or this new revision will hopefully finally square this up. Over here was extremely rich here. And we got it just about perfect, maybe needs 1% more fuel. This spot richened up again, but not as bad. This needs just a hair of fuel. That there's perfect. That needs a little bit. Perfect right in there. Hair of fuel. Need to pull a little bit more fuel. That needs a ton of fuel. Too much fuel again. Needs more fuel. And then in here, it's weird, but yeah. I've done a bunch of playing with it, so hopefully that should help get it to more of a better spot, at least comparing to what it currently is. But there's been a huge improvement comparing to what it was. So being how rich it was, it was bad. Had way too much fuel. So we've leaned it up, but we're still working on smoothing it. It's not perfect, but it is getting better. So slow progress being made on that. But yeah, if you guys have any questions or want to talk about anything, feel free to ask. But yeah, that's just so far a little bit of an update that I do have. Now nothing really has changed with the car itself. Just I've been tuning on it, and then we got that welder, which I don't believe has appeared in any videos yet, but will shortly. But yeah, that, and then just doing a ton of, we've been doing a ton of structural work on my buddy Andy's car. Like an absolute ton of improvements. like there was a lot of rust we cut out. Um, we've used 4 spools of welding wire so far on it, and we're getting closer to being done, but still not there. Yeah. So we're making progress. I haven't been able to get on since before we hit 1,000, but yeah, if you guys have anything, any questions, anything, feel free to ask. Feel free to ask me. I'll be happy to answer them. But yeah, we're making slow progress. Expect more videos, hopefully long form videos coming out on the channel. That's one thing that we're trying to do more. We'd like to have like a 1 or 2 minute video uploaded, not as a short, but as like a longer main channel video, if you will. And we'd like to start doing daily, like short videos each day, similar to shorts, but not a short. Just to try and help grow that side of the channel, because the shorts are doing fairly well. But yeah, shorts are doing fairly well. But I'd like to grow the other side of the channel more. But yeah, huge shout out and huge thanks to all you guys who have subscribed. And for us hitting over 1,000 subscribers, almost 1,100 now. It's crazy to think that we have grown this much, this quickly. So yeah, it's awesome. That's all I can say. It's awesome that we've hit this huge milestone for the channel. Yeah, we're making progress. We don't plan to go away anytime soon. We're not going to just stop making content. Content will keep coming out. We're not going to stop. Yeah, we're going all in on this, and we're really hoping for that we can make something of this channel and do some really cool stuff. I got a lot planned for next year. I got another car coming out of storage that's been in storage for 3 to 4 years. So we'll be monkeying around with turbo stuff next year. Just one of my little turbos. We'll be doing a bunch more welding stuff. I know I got a catalytic converter right here. I had to weld into the other car that's been in storage. So I got to weld that in, do some other stuff. We're going to have a lot of content around this car and my buddy's 89 Fox body. We're going to have a lot of content around them. But yeah, we are going to be trying to go live a lot more. As of right now, it looks like this week I'm going to be pretty much free all week. I got a little bit of stuff I got to do. I got to close or shut off the sprinklers and shut the water off outside before winter. And yeah. But I'm going to try to attempt to be live almost every single day this week. And yeah. Hopefully we can do some more stuff live. And hopefully some more of you guys will tune in next time. But not seeing any questions or anything coming in. If you do have any automotive related questions, feel free to ask me while I'm here. I think after this I might switch over, go live on TikTok for a little bit. But yeah, if you guys have any automotive related questions, any channel related questions, any welding related questions, anything, feel free to ask me while I'm still here. If you guys have any questions or anything, yeah, feel free to ask. Oh. Well, if not, I'm gonna get going. I'm gonna try and go live on TikTok for a little bit. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Or if I can jump on later, maybe I will do that also. I don't know. We'll find out. But yeah, see you guys later.